Imagine a door that promises equality. You walk in, hoping to leave caste discrimination behind. But beyond the door, you face the same prejudices, just in different garb. That is the story unfolding today in India. You can change your religion, you cannot change your caste. That is not a political opinion. That is what the Supreme Court of India itself said in 2015. And now, the same court has ruled that Muslims and Christians cannot be classified as scheduled castes. A two-member bench said on March 24 that a person loses all rights given to them as a member of the scheduled caste community the moment they convert from Hinduism. The ruling came in the context of a case filed by a Christian convert from an SC community under the SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act. The court went strictly by the Constitution Schedule Castes Order of 1950, a law that says no person professing a religion other than Hinduism shall be deemed a member of a scheduled caste. The law has been updated before. Sikhism was added in 1956, Buddhism in 1990, but Christians and Muslims are still excluded. But here's where it gets interesting. On the very same day, the very same court said something completely different about scheduled tribes. A tribal person who converts to Christianity or Islam does not automatically lose their ST status. The court said that, unlike SC status, there is no religion-based exclusion for scheduled tribes. What matters is whether the person continues to follow tribal customs, maintains tribal social organization, and is still accepted by their tribal community. If they do, they keep their status. If they don't, they lose it. The question writes itself. If the court can look at lived reality for tribal converts, why not for Dalit converts?
Those religions do not accept caste discrimination as part of the divine structures. Now, that could be the assumption. Well, the reality is that the impact of Hinduism on these religions over a period of centuries created their own caste system within those religions. Those who are converted into Christianity or Islam should not be granted reservation rights because they want to stop conversion.
So, is caste a Hindu institution that simply disappears on conversion? The data says no. History says no. The segregated pews and separate cemeteries say no. For centuries, millions of Dalits in India have converted to Christianity and Islam, hoping to seek one thing: equality. The church promised it, the mosque promised it, both their scriptures meant it. But here is what happened when people walked through those doors. They carried their caste with them. According to an article in The Conversation, the caste system is not exclusive to Hindu religion alone. Caste identities stay even generations after someone converts out of Hinduism into any of these faiths. A 2014 survey cited in the same article found 1 in every 4 Indians still practicing untouchability, even though it was banned by the Constitution in 1950. For example, in South India today, there are Christian Nadars, Christian Mudalyas, Christian Yadavas, Christian Reddys and Kammas, and also Christian Brahmins. They might be Christians on paper, but more often than not, they are Hindus who converted to Christianity but refused to shed their caste identity. And at the bottom of that church hierarchy, exactly where they were before, sit the Dalit Christians. In Tachur village in Kanchipuram in Tamil Nadu, a church was shut down for 10 years in the late 1990s only because of a caste dispute between Dalits and so-called upper caste Christians. When it finally reopened in 2006, the tensions did not end. In 2011, the burial of 2 Dalits in the church cemetery triggered fresh violence and police had to be deployed. Dalit Christian author Bama wrote about this more than 30 years ago in her book, Karukku. She documented the hypocrisies of a church dominated by upper castes where Dalits were denied the right to manage churches and participate in festivals, even though Dalits constitute the majority of Christians in Tamil Nadu. The Madurai bench of the Madras High Court had to issue notices to the central government, the state government, and the Bishops' Council of Tamil Nadu on a petition seeking adequate representation for Dalits in Roman Catholic churches. Even the Vatican knew. Pope John Paul II himself called for customs that reinforce caste divisions to be reformed. So, this is Christianity in India. Now, let's talk about Islam. The Prophet Muhammad's farewell sermon clearly said no Arab is superior to a non Arab, no white person over a black person. Islam was built on equality, and yet Indian Muslims are divided into three distinct castes. At the top are the Ashrafs, literally the nobles. They trace their ancestry to Arab, Central Asian, or Persian origin, or to the upper caste Hindu converts. They are the Brahmin equivalent of Indian Islam. Below them are the Ajlafs, the commoners, converts from Hindu lower castes. And at the very bottom are the Arzals, literally meaning the despicable, Dalit converts. They are the untouchables of Indian Islam. The 1901 census of India officially recorded 133 social groups wholly or partially Muslim. The 1911 census listed 102 caste groups among Muslims in Uttar Pradesh alone, and 97 of them are from the non-Ashraf category. In 14 Lok Sabhas, out of 7,500 elected representatives, only 400 were Muslim. Of these 400, 340 were Ashraf. Only 60 came from Pasamanda, that is the backward Muslim community. Ashrafs are just 2.1% of India's population, but they held 4.5% representation in parliament. Pasamandas are 11.4% of the population, and they had 0.8% representation.
Those who are converted into Christianity, their English medium education levels are very high. The converted Muslim situation is worse. There is no English education, there is no economic upward mobility, because the Muslims are, there are no Muslims in the SC category in Telangana. Muslims are in the OBC's E category. Now there the position is worse than even Dalits, certain Muslim castes.
This proves that caste does not disappear when you convert, it just wears different clothes. A 2021 India Spend study found no practical difference in poverty, landlessness, or exposure to manual scavenging between Dalit Hindus and Dalit Christians. Satish Deshpande's 2011 report for National Commission for Minorities found that Dalit Muslims and Dalit Christians were treated as Dalits first and Muslims or Christians only second. And what does the law say? A 1950 presidential order, which was borrowed from a 1936 colonial framework, says only Hindus, Sikhs and Buddhists can be scheduled castes. Dalit Christians and Dalit Muslims are excluded. They get OBC status, which means no reservation in electoral constituencies, no protection under the SC/ST Atrocities Act.
Now, regarding this about the Dalits who went to Christianity and Islam have the evaded caste. Now, if you compare that with the sense of incidents of atrocities, you can see fairly good kind of assessment there. But the social experiences of exclusion, marginalization, the endogamous nature of caste practices, that still continue. But their echoes have really remained silenced doubly. A, because they are not what you call Hindus or Buddhists and other religious, so-called Indic religious. And two, that their own people within the religious fold who are meant to take care of their own within the religious fold, they themselves are marginalized. So this kind of double marginalization that has happened has to kind of come about. And I think there are enough studies, but there has to be really a kind of a convertible dialogue that happens, especially in America also, right? There were black Muslims, black Christians, and so forth. Religion never became a point of as strong a contestation as it does in India, because the project of Indian pluralism has often focused on singular idea of religion.
The Sachar Committee said in 2006 that conversion had not lifted Dalit Christians or Dalit Muslims from deprivation. The Rangnath Misra Commission recommended in 2007 that the religious bar be removed and all Dalits, regardless of faith, be given SC status. But Parliament has not acted. The law has not changed. And so now, again, the Supreme Court has upheld a framework written by colonial rulers based on the assumption that untouchability exists only in Hinduism. The data says otherwise. History says otherwise. The segregated graveyards inside churches say otherwise. You can change your religion, you cannot change your caste. But Indian law still has not caught up with that reality.